Welcome to the Morale Booster Network, a platform for entrepreneurs, career professionals, leaders, and the general public to give back to the society through coaching and mentoring. I remain your host, Dr. John Ugulu. I am an author, speaker, and strategist. I always say experience is the best teacher. You can stream or download this podcast from YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Google Podcast, Player FM, and Pandora. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to the Morale Booster Podcast. I am Dr. John Ugulu, your host. And in today's conversation, we are thrilled to welcome our special guest, attorney Sheila R. Stuart. Let's embark on this inspiring journey together. If you are just joining us for the very first time, I want to say welcome to you. As a tradition, I typically encourage our listeners to please like and share this broadcast. And here's the reason why. You might just be saving the life of that one person who has been waiting for a lifetime to hear the message we will be sharing today. So, this is a conversation with attorney Sheila. Now, attorney Sheila has a focus in family law, with a focus in employment law and business, which was what she has always been known for. She serves as an advocate for women and families right now. She established 3 companies, the law office of Sheila R. Stuart, Soar Media Enterprise, and Manifest Productions LLC, focusing on law, entertainment, documentaries, film, TV, and media. She has a lot on her portfolio. She is a great woman of God. And ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, please join me as I welcome this powerful woman of God, an astute lawyer, attorney who has been doing the work, helping people for years now. No other person but attorney Sheila. Thank you, attorney, for joining me on this program. You are on mute. You can unmute your mic. Okay, yes, we can hear you now. How are you,
Okay.
ma'am?
I am doing awesome. Thank you so much for having me on your platform. It's an honor to be with you here on today. Thank you so much.
The pleasure is all mine. I'll say thank you for taking time out of your extremely busy schedule. I know it's challenging sometimes to get busy people like you on this program, but through divine connection and the grace of God, God made it possible. So we appreciate you for coming out. You could have been somewhere else doing, taking care of business, but you chose to come out here to encourage, to share your story, to encourage people you don't even know,
Mhm.
to help them understand that they have greatness in them, to help them understand that they could become better versions of themselves. That speaks volume of you. So we appreciate you, ma'am, for coming.
Thank you so much. Again, it's an honor to be with you on today.
Great. Welcome, welcome. All right. So, how's the weather over there? I guess it's freezing.
Actually, it's quite beautiful out. The sun is shining. It's really pretty.
Mm,
It's not that cold
wow.
here. Maybe about, 40 degrees, 45 degrees.
Wow. Wow. That's great.
Hmm.
Great. Yeah. So, to everybody who's listening right now, please, if you have not already shared this broadcast, please do that right now because you might just be saving the life of that one business owner, of that individual, that private citizen who has been looking for information to help save their lives, to help save their businesses. So please do that. It should be your charity work for today. It is free to share the broadcast. So be happy to share and pass information. Thank you. We're still live with attorney Sheila. So my first question to you, attorney, is um, I know you are a woman with so much going on, business wise, family wise. So, as an attorney, with a focus on employment law and business. How did your passion for advocating for women and families shape your approach to law and business?
That's a good question. I would have to say inequities, seeing the inequities across the state, the community, the country, um, the, the disparities in how people live, the disparities of children, the disparities of single women raising families alone, not having the things that they need to excel in life, many living in substandard housing and so forth. And seeing these things over and over and over again, I know that that has played a part in my concern and my compassion for others. Some people struggle their entire life and can never make it to the top, don't even come close to the top. But there are answers and there are opportunities for those individuals out there. And I think those of us that have had some level of success, we have a responsibility to reach back and to share with those individuals and to take action and to try to provide some level of support, insight, information, and guidance to those people.
Wow, that's a huge calling you have going on right there. Everything you talked about resonates with me because a wise person once said if your calling, or rather if your vision is for you and your immediate family, then that is just an ambition or a job. But if your vision is one that focuses on others, people you don't even know, then that is a calling. And you talked about people struggling with
Mhm.
so many challenges in life. And you looked at it, you saw it, that was an opportunity for you to share, to help people who are struggling, people who are going through what you have been through, or areas that you have experienced in, helping them get out of being stuck, helping them
Mhm.
become better versions of themselves. That's, to me, that is an awesome calling. And I thank you so much for doing what you do. And the world needs more of people like you now, more than ever before. So thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I know you've established and managed three distinct companies. Now, what inspired you to diversify into different industries like media, entertainment, and law? And how do these different areas of focus complement one another in your career?
Well, actually, the media work started through law because I started doing these podcasts similar to what you are doing. And the more that I did them, the more that the interest grew. And the more I began to expand. I began to get guests after guests. And the more of the shows that I did, the greater the interest was. And from there, I took an interest in doing some documentaries, trying to highlight the work of other people and some of the great things they have accomplished. And then from there, it just evolved into writing some TV series based upon some of the things that I've experienced and what I've seen as an attorney. And so the media company holds more of the media work, and then the manifest production is will hold like the documentaries and the films and the TV series and different things such as that.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing. So basically, to everybody who's listening, it started with the podcast, and that's for the media side. And I believe you did not start perfect, but you took action. Is that correct?
No, I could not have started perfect because I'm still not perfect. So I'm not perfect yet. So no, I didn't start perfect. I started with an interest. I started with a passion of sharing information, a passion of giving information to help people to become better so that they can learn and understand, giving free advice and exposing them to great minds, great thinkers, great writers. And they can just, turn on a YouTube channel without paying anything and listen to information from bright minds, intelligent minds, individuals that went to Harvard and Yale. You can listen to these individuals. So the passion started there and it just grew.
Mm. Yes, thank you so much for sharing. I agree with you. And for those who are listening, it's all about acting on your ideas because you never can tell where God is leading you to. So if you're somebody who's listening to us and have been procrastinating, you can see expansion comes when you start first. You don't have to be perfect. Start with whatever you have, wherever you are, and keep going. And when God sees that you have honored his calling by you accepting to start on that vision, then it expands as you go by. And sometimes you might get overwhelmed, but the God that gave you the ability, the power, the resources to get started would at some point also provide you with strategies to help you manage everything at the same time. Is that correct, ma'am?
I would say so. I think that's spot on that you can't have a business if you never get up to start anything. You have to take steps and just move. And you may not have everything together. I didn't have everything together. I still don't. But I'm moving in faith and I'm moving in interest and I'm moving knowing that my end is going to be successful.
Absolutely. I love that. Um, that's why I always encourage people study the law of vibration. And I know almost everybody is familiar with the law of attraction. I am a student of natural laws because I know, they don't change. Those are natural laws from God, right? We all know the law of attraction, but the main thing, the main law that leads to the law of attraction is the law of vibration. So I always encourage people to study the law of vibration because you need to, first of all, put yourself on a frequency and a vibration of what you want, where you want to be. And it's only at that point you can attract what you want. So we must get started. Those ideas that are in our head, they would remain ideas or fantasies if we don't act on them. Yes, so thank you so much for sharing. So let's go to the next question. So who um, as someone working in both the legal field and the entertainment industry, what unique challenges and opportunities have you encountered in bridging these two, worlds? And what advice would you offer to someone who's looking to follow a similar path?
That's a great question. I'm actually getting started in many areas of the entertainment. And I would say to individuals to learn about the industry. I was blessed to work with some attorneys that are more ingratiated in the area that I was, and they were able to coach me and give me advice and to look at some of the things that I wrote and to act as an agent in terms of guiding me through the process on many of the things that I was interested in doing and provide, really good products for me to read and to study and so forth. I think the challenge is um, getting started and getting in the industry, following your dream and believing that you can be a part of something bigger than what you are doing and having a vision how you're going to write that out and make that come to pass. I think lots of times we may doubt ourselves and say, oh, I'm too old or I don't have enough training. I don't have enough experience. I'm not trained in this area. But if you have an interest and a passion in that area, that I think that's that's the pathway you should take. I've had an interest in media and TV and entertainment and journalism since I was like, I don't know, the fifth grade, the sixth grade. And I always said I wanted to do this. And when I first went to college, my major was journalism and media and communications. That's what I wanted to study and learn about. But because I've had some things didn't work out for me, my mother got really sick when I was in school. Then when I ended up going finishing school, I just wanted to get a degree so I could get out. So I ended up doing political science and Eastern European politics, and just studying. And then I went on law school, graduate school, then law school. But that always remained my passion. And so it's interesting how I'm back at my passion now in life.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that. And to those people who can see us, when you see me looking downwards, I'm actually taking down notes. Yeah, well, it's okay. And you talked about having a vision. Vision is always key, and vision without action becomes a major challenge. And you talked about rising above limiting beliefs, which means we need to come out of our heads most times, believe in ourselves. We need to stop allowing limiting beliefs hold us back. There are so many people out there who want to get started in this same field that you are. And for some reason, they keep procrastinating, and it's very easy to procrastinate. They keep doubting themselves. And the wise person once said, if we can get rid of the enemy within, the enemy from outside can do us no harm. And some of those enemies within, in my own opinion, are procrastination, self doubt, you know. And I believe once we can get rid of those limiting beliefs, we can always, achieve our goals. Is that your own philosophy as well, attorney?
I Yes, and I also would add um, a faith in
Faith,
God.
yes.
I, you know,
Faith in
I
God.
believe I believe that when we have a lot of self teaching and self thoughts and pontifications, we have to put God in this equation, and we have to put His Word in the equation. We have to put God in the vision. We have to put God in the strategy. And I believe that that alone would help begin to eliminate the self doubt, the procrastination. You're going to have some procrastination, but it would help eliminate a lot of that. And I think I just see a time where most people, they strategize and they have ideas and they have plans, but it doesn't seem divinely connected.
Mm, yes, I concur. I concur. Faith in God is paramount. And yesterday I was on a show and they asked me what my advice to anyone who's still in search of their purpose. What's my advice to them, to help them identify their purpose? I've written several articles on that. And I said, there are 5 questions that one of my late mentors, late Dr. Miles Monroe, I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
yes, the 5 questions he asked, those 5 questions helped me identify my purpose. The first one being knowing who I am. So we all need to know who we are. We all need to know where we are from, and those first 2 questions tie us to our source, and our source
Mhm.
is God. Where, who am I? Where am I from? Why am I on earth? Because when you know who you are and where you are from, you certainly would know why you're on earth. The fourth question is, what can I do? Which is our skills. And the fifth one is, where are we going? So when we know God, when we have faith in God, when we understand that God is the source of
Mhm.
everything,
Mhm.
like you rightly said, we will be covered. We will be covered in all areas. And thank you so much for reminding us about faith in
Mhm.
God. That's a powerful one. Thank you.
Mhm.
So are you a minister as well? Pastor?
No, no, I'm not a pastor.
Okay, okay, that's great. All right. Okay, so let's go to. I have another question I want to ask you. Um, with your involvement in documentaries, film, TV, and media, how do you see the power of storytelling influencing public perception on important social issues like um, family rights and important issues? How do you see the power of storytelling influencing the public perception generally?
I mean, the word, the phrase itself is on point. The power of storytelling. Because you're sharing through the eyes, your eyes, and those that have that have participated in this particular lifestyle. You're telling this story. I watched a documentary the other night on, I think I'm saying it right, Burmudi, Burmandi. It's a small country in Africa.
Oh,
And
Bermuda, yeah.
it's close to Tanzania. And they said it's the
Oh,
poorest.
Burundi, is it Burundi?
Burundi.
Burundi,
Burundi.
yeah, yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you so much. Burundi. And they said it's the poorest uh, country in the world, poorest country in the world. And I was watching how they live because I like to look at how people live. I like to look at how they live in the United States and how they live around the world to get a perspective of how to help people, how to minister to people. And when we live in a box and we're only in touch with how we live and where we go and what we have, we're limited in how we can serve others. And we're offensive. We actually become offensive because lots of times we're not even educated on how to reach people because we're reaching them from a small framework. So I like to educate myself by reading and looking at things to give me a greater perspective of how people live. And in order to be a powerful storyteller, you have to be in touch with how people live and where they are, what they encounter, what they go through, how they go through it, how do they get there, why are they there, and then what are the solutions that we can create to get them out. Because it's easy to talk about the trouble that people are having, but what's the solution in getting them out? Okay? And so storytelling brings attention to the problem. Storytelling gives us insight to how others live. And then it also can create pathways for solutions to get them out of where they are.
Wow. Thank you so much for confirming that. And there's so many people who believe they don't have a story. But I want to encourage everyone who's listening today that you have a story, but you might not have had the time to really take a deep look into your life to see that you have a story. And storytelling is a powerful tool. I used to be a very shy person, extremely shy, like so shy that I couldn't even imagine myself coming on podcast or speaking publicly. But at some point when I realized that I had a divine calling,
Mhm.
and that as one who will be embarking on that journey of personal development, storytelling was a key part of it. I had to get rid of the limiting belief of shyness, found myself a mentor, And now I am microphone hungry. Now I have a story to tell how I was able to transition from shyness to public speaking. Now, I typically don't say that just to brag, to anybody. I just always like to share that story because I want to let someone out there know that if I could overcome shyness, it means you too can overcome shyness. And there's so many people, millions of people in the world who are struggling with shyness. And my story of how I was able to overcome shyness has been doing a lot for so many people overcoming shyness. I went as far as writing a book titled From Shyness to Public Speaking. It's available on Amazon, From Shyness to Public Speaking. In this book, I talked about the 10 steps that I took to overcome shyness. That's my story. And I'm sticking to that story. So, storytelling, like you said, is very important. And everybody who's listening to us right now, I
Mhm.
want you to know that you have a story to tell. Your story is therapeutic or will be therapeutic for someone else out there, someone you might not even know. So always remember that storytelling is powerful. So thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing that. I know you have a lot to take care of today, but I will not take much of your time anymore. But I have one last question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
All right. So balancing multiple companies, career paths, and advocacy work must be demanding, like we all know. So, how do you prioritize self care? Because self care is very important. How do you prioritize self care and maintain your personal resilience while managing the responsibilities of your professional life? What advice would you also offer to people who are aspiring to become entrepreneurs and advocates
Mhm.
regarding self care?
That's a great question because I think one of the things that busy people often do is neglect themselves. They neglect to take care of themselves and to do things that's really enjoyable for them. One of the things that I like to do, I like to get massages. I like to get my nails done. I like to get my feet done, the pedicures and pedicure, and I like to travel. Love to travel. And another thing that I do that's very relaxing for me. This is probably going to be funny. I like to go get a nice cup of Starbucks. Not trying to advertise Starbucks. I like to go get a nice cup of Starbucks, listen to some great music, and go for a great drive. And I can drive for an hour and a half just and clear my head out and come back home.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing. Now, so those people who are listening right now, she said she gets pedicure done, massage. She goes out to get a cup of Starbucks. And the last one, okay, you talked about listening to good music. And the
And I
last one you
travel. I like
talked
to
about,
travel.
oh, you like to travel too, yes. And you also
Hmm.
talked about having a great drive. And you say you drive for a long time.
Yeah,
You could drive for an hour.
I could drive up to an hour and a half. Yeah, and I could just listening to music, drink my
Wow.
Starbucks, and then and don't leave out travel because I love to travel.
Yes, 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 yes. I love to drive too.
Mm.
Driving helps me when I need to come up with or when I need to really focus on my vision. But the challenge, or rather, the different part of my driving is I drive without music.
Okay.
So yeah, if I need to drive just for the sake of self care or thinking or putting an idea together, I drive without music. I could drive from my house to the airport is about an hour 10 minutes. So I'll just drive to the airport and back.
Mm.
So I drive through the arrival, I mean the departure, and I go straight to the exit and I turn right back home. That's me. So that is very therapeutic for me, and I support that for those who are safe drivers. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for
Mhm.
sharing that. All right. So before I let you go, ma'am, I typically ask our guests to say some words of inspiration, words of encouragement to that man or that woman who is currently, or they're currently at their lowest moment, and they feel so frustrated, and they feel that what they're going through right now, there's no hope for them coming out of what they're going through right now. Just words of encouragement for those people, if you have any. But if you don't have any, it's also okay.
Well, I would hope I would have something to say to someone that's feeling low. I would say to that individual is to step back um, from their situation, to step back from their situation and began to think about the good things that they have done and the good things that they have going on in life. Just step back and just kind of think about your accomplishments. Think about the things that have gone well in life. We all have something bad we can think about. We all have things that didn't work out, people that died, people that walked away, people that are sick. We all have that. But what do you do? Well, how do you handle that pain? And I say one of the things that you can do to handle that pain is to start thinking about the goodness of God, the good things that He has done for you, and the good things that He has brought you through. That's one of the things you can do, and that's big because at this time of the year, there's a lot of sadness, there's a lot of loss, there's a lot of things that people will start feeling. It's the end of the year. I have not accomplished my goals. Things didn't work out. I wanted to be further along. I wanted to pay off debt. People have a lot of things, but I would say to you, count and focus on the things that are positive and that you have been effective in achieving.
Great. That was powerful, ladies and gentlemen. She has just encouraged you to focus on the positive side of it, because every day above ground is indeed a blessed day. Every day above ground is indeed an opportunity for us to start all over. Every day above ground is indeed an opportunity for us to set new goals, for us to re-strategize, for us to conduct assessments to know where we are and where we can go from where we are. Every day is an opportunity for God's renewable blessing to manifest in our lives. Because in the book of Lamentations, we're made to understand that the steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies endures forever. Why? Because they are new every morning. So focus on the positive side. When you're down, grab a pen like I do. I know so many people might be wondering, the morale booster, are you ever down? Oh, yes. Those of us who motivate people, we have the times where we're down. But God has shown us, God always reminds us. And because we are steadfast in the work of God, we always know that God will take control. What I do is I write down good things that have happened to me in my life, because I know that the human system is programmed to naturally dwell on negativity.
Mhm.
Yes, that's it. So, because the human system is programmed that way, we hardly take note of the good things that are happening, but we focus on the bad side. So I become intentional. I get a pen and a piece of paper and I write down what are the good things that have happened in my life today. All right, first of all, number one, for waking up in the morning. Number two, being able to pray with my children before they go to school. Number three, being able to encourage my children, letting them know that I believe in them and that they have greatness in them. These are things we don't even remember. You see, I already listed three. If I had not started writing this down now, I would not have thought about it. So I'm sharing this with everyone who's listening right now. When you're down, grab a pen, a piece of paper, start writing down the good things, and you would realize that prior to the bad things happening, God had already blessed you with tens and tens of good stuff. Always believe in God. So thank you so much,
Amen.
ma'am, for joining us on this program. It's been a
Thank you for
pleasure
having
having
me.
you. Yes,
Thank you
been a
so much.
pleasure. Yes, great, great. And I know you are doing great things, and God will surely grant you more grace, more wisdom, more knowledge, more understanding, and the ability to take your life and that of your family and your loved ones to greater heights. In Jesus' name, I pray for you. Amen.
Amen.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
All right. Okay, everybody, it's about that time. We're about to draw this to a close. And before we do that, I am excited to share some amazing ways for you who's listening to us to stay connected with our mission and continue to grow together. Your support and engagement means the world to us. If you have not shared this broadcast, please like and share it because you might just be saving the life of that one person who has been waiting for a lifetime to hear this message. And here's how you can get involved with what we do. Um, this program is directly affiliated with the John Ugulu Foundation. So we raise funds for the John Ugulu Foundation. So if you feel you have been impacted positively through this program, please support our mission and help us continue uplifting lives by making a donation to John Ugulu Foundation. Your generosity allows us to keep spreading hope and positivity. If you need to make a donation today, or if you feel the next time you want to donate to a 501c3 nonprofit organization, visit johnugulu.com. www.johnughulu.com. Go right there, click on the donate icon, and yes, you would be able to do that. And secondly, if you want to stay connected with us, if you're looking for inspirational materials, you can check out our collection of inspirational books that are designed to motivate and encourage you on your journey. Visit the website, johnugulu.com. You would find all those books right there. And thirdly, you can tune into our latest podcast episodes on that same website, johnugulu.com. Podcast series where we share powerful messages of hope, resilience, and personal growth. I encourage you to listen now to these episodes and let the words lift your spirit. And before I go, we have a last way you can stay connected with us. You can become a part of our growing community where we uplift and inspire one another every day. So you can subscribe today and receive exclusive content, daily motivation, and access to special events. So thank you once again for being a part of this journey. Together, we can continue to make a lasting impact and spread positivity. I don't know where you're listening to me from right now. By the grace of God, we're global. We're streaming on multiple platforms, over 20 platforms. And I don't know where you're listening to me from right now. I don't even know what you know about yourself. Yes, you who's listening, I don't even know what the people around you know about you. But here is one thing that I, John, know about you. I know you have greatness within you. I know you have everything within you to transition from where you are to where you want to be. I know you have everything within you to become the best version of yourself. And remember, today is the first day of the rest of your life. God bless you all. Bye for now.